Hello, I'm talking today a little bit more about Indicator 2.3 predominant instructional practices throughout the school are known and monitored. At Cross Lake Community School, administrators and lead teachers conduct regular walkthroughs to gather real-time insights on classroom instruction. Our model of instruction is Marzano's New Art and Science of Teaching. These walkthroughs focus on student engagement, lesson structure, formative assessments, and classroom management. The data is used to monitor progress, identify trends, and guide professional development and decision making. Analysis of our recent walkthrough data led to 3 major improvements: more training in direct instruction to strengthen and clarify scaffolding, student engagement, enhanced support for rules and procedures, including the use of the Catalyst approach for nonverbal classroom management, school-wide initiative, and then expanded responsive classroom training to deepen those teacher-student relationships and build stronger classroom communities. This process has directly improved teaching practices, strengthened relationships, and created a more supportive, engaging, and consistent learning environment across CCS. To begin with, predominant instructional practices are known. The first part, I would like to report that we had a 76% attendance rate among our teachers for Sourcewell's Educator Summit this year. A huge cohort of our elementary school classroom teachers did the New Art and Science of Writing class because we are deep in local literacy plans, and writing is a huge part of that. So our teachers decided to join together and get a little bit of additional New Art and Science of Teaching training specifically in that content area of writing. Another big win there was Mario Acosta's Effective Classroom and School-Wide Interventions, followed by Collaborative Teams and Effective Classroom Culture, Fostering Student Motivation. We had another cohort of our teachers, a lot of administration as well as behavioral interventionists, did all 3 of Mario's sessions and really got a lot out of that. We begin our year at CCS just making sure that this instructional model is out in front of everyone. It was attached to a little note for me, just making sure to get that right out in front of people at the beginning of the year, making sure everyone has their New Art and Science of Teaching book, as well as these cute little stickers that Sourcewell made for us. So that instructional model is just known and right there. As far as monitoring goes, we have been engaged pretty deeply in our walkthrough process. The beginning of this year had some interesting trends. So right away you can see just tons and tons of check marks down here under those relationships, those rules and procedures, communicating those high expectations. And then as school has progressed, we are not losing any of that. Still lots going on down here, but then getting in some of these instructional and assessment components as well. Walkthrough data is fantastic just to make sure that we are still keeping on track with those. I have been hired this year as the instructional coach, giving me a lot more time to do more intentional, targeted walkthroughs. So I know our director, Annette Klang, does individual, she'll go into one classroom and one teacher will have a sheet. I've been targeting instead certain times of the day, middle school versus primary, going around and catching everyone's science instruction, seeing which trends I can pick up just doing those walkthrough data sheets. And then as we compile that information and as we're monitoring all of that information, we determined our goal selection process for this year for our element goals, for our individual growth goals. Each teacher is completing a survey for each goal area option. We decided this year, based on monitoring and walkthrough data, that we're going to focus on providing and communicating clear learning goals, so elements 1 and 2, and then also some assessment, so elements 4 and 5. So each teacher completed the teacher survey for each one of those 4 goal areas, and then based on those descriptions and survey results, rated their current practice on the rubric, reflected upon that teaching practice, and then chose their goal area for the year based on those reflections. Those goals are posted right up in our rooms, and also we do a lot of professional development centered around those. So we have our compendium resources that we will be using in our professional development based on the goal areas that people chose from our instructional practice and our instructional model. This was an area I actually dug back to look at my initial peer coaching binder that I had received, and the date on it was 2016. So our model of instruction has been in use for an incredibly long amount of time. Getting our new staff trained, understanding, and then keeping up on that training for some of our more seasoned staff, making sure they have the resources that they need as our student populations change. But just having that consistent instructional model for this many years has really, really been great for CCS and for our continuous improvement. Thank you.